walls of Jericho,
la mur de Jéricho,
around your life,
autour de ta vie,
around your ministry,
autour de ton ministère,
are falling now.
tombe maintenant.
God wants to give you glory.
Alors Dieu peut te donner la gloire.
But the key to the glory
Mais la clé à la gloire,
is wisdom.
c'est la...
Open your Bibles to Luke chapter 19.
And
Jesus entered and passed through Jericho. And behold, there was a man named Zacchaeus,
which was the chief among the publicans, and he was rich. And he sought to see Jesus, who he was, and could not for the press, because he was little of stature. And he ran before and climbed up a sycamore tree to see him, for he was to pass that way. And when Jesus came to the place, he looked up and saw him and said unto him, Zacchaeus, make haste and come down, for today I must abide at thy house. And he made haste and came down and received him joyfully. And when they saw it, they all murmured, saying that he was gone to be guest with a man that is a sinner. And Zacchaeus stood and said unto the Lord, Behold, Lord, the half of my goods I give to the poor. And if I have taken anything from any man by false accusation, I restore him fourfold. And Jesus said unto him, This day is salvation come to this house, for so much as he also is a son of Abraham. For the Son of Man is come to seek and to save that which was lost.
Amen. You may be seated.
Amen.
In verse 1, the Bible tells us that the Lord Jesus was passing through somewhere, Jericho. And then he tells us that in that place there was a certain man by the name of Zacchaeus. The word Zacchaeus comes from a word that means pure. All right? Pure. Now, but the first information that the Bible gives us about Zacchaeus is that what? The first information is verse 1. Is in verse 1. Zacchaeus was living in Jericho. Okay? All right. So Jericho was a city that had been cursed before, to the point that a man went to build the gates and the pillars. He lost his firstborn and second and lastborn sons according to the curse. Jericho was a place that the land was pleasant, the water was not good. Jericho had an experience. It was a place where a man had been robbed, going down from one place to another, you understand, right? Robbed. And so Jericho had some interesting things. It was also the place where Christ had met with the woman by the well. So there's some history about Jericho. So Zacchaeus was living in a city that, had some mixed history, mixed background to it. All right? And so the next information he tells us about Zacchaeus is in verse 2. So now, what's the next information? No, he was a man. He was not a woman. I want you to learn to read and gather, because listen, the exercise I'm taking you through right now is what will help you to let the Bible become more real and more alive to you, and you can walk in a certain level of faith and dominion. He was a man. I will not dwell on that. Let's move on. It's just information. Now, the third information. Huh? He had a name. Oh, you're now being smart. His name was called Zacchaeus. His name was pure. And there was a controversy between his life and his name. There are times you carry a name, but when they look at your life, your name and your life are different. For some people, their life, their names, is interesting that many times when people have bad names, the names tend to have more effect on them than when they have good names. Many people have names with good meanings, but you hardly see the impact of the good meaning upon them. But most people who have bad names or names with bad meanings, you look at their life, you see the name having effect on them. The man's name was called Pure, but his life was different. But a day had been appointed by Jehovah that there was going to be a turnaround. Look at me. If you have a good name and your life has been different, it is your life is going to be turned around to face your name. I am not hearing somebody. Names are important. My name, Akintayo, means a brave chief, a brave warrior, a brave leader that brings joy. And I thank God that my life is bringing joy. But I think my life is fulfilling the meaning of his name. Today I'm saying to you, every evil controversy and contradiction in your life, Jehovah is going to sort it out. You cannot be in the house of God and your life is looking ugly. I don't like it. I don't like the way you're talking to me. You cannot be saved. You cannot be genuinely changed. And then you are going through some unnecessaries. There are some things you go through, they are necessaries. They are taking you to from one point to another. But some things are not necessaries. May God deliver you from unnecessary delays. Battles that will disqualify you one day. David. A man tells him that for you to be my father-in-law, you've got to catch, was he 100 men? And give me a foreskin. That's foreskin. Do you know this foreskin? What is foreskin? Now you know you cannot talk. We know, sir. The man said, go find 100 men and cut off their penis and bring it to me. David said, okay, you want that? How many did David bring? 200. He bought 2. Double. It was an unnecessary to have a wife. To have a wife. It was an unnecessary battle. No wonder God says, David, you see, your heart is good to build me a house, but your hand, it carries blood. It carries blood. You cannot. Took 200 Philistines, killed them and cut off. And say, here, for a wife. May you not fight an unnecessary battle in life. Call you and tell you to travel to India. Come and do this. You go there for something and then you come back. They pick you up, come and travel to Kabbalah. For something that you have simply sat down here and worked out today. May you not waste energy in life. I'm not hearing somebody. What I'm about to teach you, please understand this. You must not waste energy in life. Because if you don't understand it, you take this and apply it wrongly. Lift up and say, Father, help me not to waste energy in life. Okay, let me move on to the main message for today. As you learn today, please learn this whenever I talk to people. Learn that when you're talking to people, there are information that they're giving you without knowing they're giving information. You must learn to pick up on written things. They say read in between the lines. Amen. So, he was chief among the publicans, Zacchaeus. And he was rich. Now that one is not too bad for you to follow it. Verse 3, he sought to see Jesus, who he was. Now that becomes a bit confusing for the religious people. Because you are a publican. A publican was a tax collector. And the tax collectors, the way they operated was this. They were employed by the Roman government. But the way they did it was, it's not like they paid them. You, come. This is your area. And they estimate, from this area, you must give me $500 per month. That's it. And everybody knows that he's in charge. Or let me say this whole area. So from this area, you must give me $5,000 per month. Finish. Are you getting me, somebody? You agree? Yes, you agree. How he's going to do it? He now employs some people to walk through. Are you getting me, somebody? And he now says, hey, you must pay this, you must pay that, you must pay that. All what the Roman government needs is that you must produce what? $5,000. How much you collect? It's your business. So they now go and they say 50 people. If there are 50 people, how much do they pay to get you $5,000? $100. But they can now come and say, you know what? You pay 175. For the ones who are collecting for me, each one you collect from, you have $10. $5 administrative fee. $60 is mine. So you can realize that these people don't make money for themselves dubiously. That's why they always compare them with sinners and put them together with sinners. Publicans and sinners. Publicans and sinners. Are you understanding me, somebody? So, it was not strange that he was a publican and was rich. But then now what brings the question is that he was a short man. Little of stature. I am finding a man here that would represent Zacchaeus. I don't have a man like that. They didn't come to church. I can find more of ladies that represent Zacchaeus. One of you vote. Which one? One of you sisters. You vote for yourself? Or you vote for her? You are taller than her. You sure? Is it true? Come. As long as you agree. Unopposed. You can sit down. So he was short. Little stature. Are you going to be somebody? Now, let me ask you a question. Are you aware? I don't know go ahead of myself, but let me just do this. Are you aware that for you to be a tax collector who is robbing people, you are more likely supposed to be a huge man? Huh? Because people will want to tear you apart. They were hated by their countrymen. They were hated by the Jews. How did Zacchaeus, not only was he short, but small stature? That means, not again short, fat man them. The man short and dry. But the guy could collect money from big men. Everyone will pay. They'll pay it. They don't like him, but they have to pay. Are you getting me, somebody? And it's not that they don't know him. They knew him, that he was the guy. But he was rich. And not only that, among the publicans, look at me, thief man then get rank among themselves. You know that? The guy succeeded to become what? The chief of the tax collectors. Please stand up. Yes. Basil, come. Where are you? I just saw you. Basil, come. The standard tax collectors, they were people like this height and sizes. But can you imagine that a man like this, call them, now come. No, use your finger. Use your finger, call them, come. And they all were coming. Let them say, okay, all they make enough now, so una self now, every month, una collect tax, una self for they give me $100, yeah? And he says, he was chief. Come over here, so come. No, not you, chief. Chief, come. Can't sit down. Being call them one by one. Call them. No, call them by name. Call. Lynn. I am trying to paint a picture. Imagine a short man commanding these guys, and they were all listening to him. There is something about the man. I want to pick up something today. Something is going to change in this year. We are talking about greatness. You are going to kill your excuses, and you are going to be one in charge. This one we did for pay last month. So this month, they give you all in revenue. If not do them, I didn't pull you. You are careful, because if this one tell the woman say, "Now pull them, now sack them," you are finished. So can I see the big? Epa, a big. Big, not big. Big, not sorry for me. That big, you know, not being just small misunderstanding. I they pay you. You understand? Are you understanding somebody? Please paint a picture about scripture. Look at me. You are not going to be a wicked person. But I see you being in charge. I see your femininity not stopping you. I see your height, your education, your whatever not stopping you. I don't like the way you're saying it, somebody. You are going to be great in the kingdom and great for the kingdom. Are you understanding me, somebody? You are going to carry weight. Your one phone call will get things done. I am not hearing you, somebody. For the sake of the kingdom, look at me. The days are coming. I'm not saying, hey, Steve-O. You say, well, those things are coming down. And I don't want any problem with a key. You say, Bishop, is settled. Just one phone call. And the containers arrive. I don't sweat. I don't lie. I don't pay. No! What was paid is paid. And the rest is settled. You shall be great for the kingdom. Listen, you must have a vision for this thing. Now let me teach. Sit down. So, his job and his height put him in a disadvantaged position. The people did not like him. Okay, wait, where are the three men? Three, come back, come. 3 huge men. Come and stand here. Be complaining. All of you are bosses in one place or the other, in charge of something. Be complaining like they complain your absence. By the way, do you know that people gossip you? Pastor, bear in mind that until God has helped your congregation to be loyal, they gossip you behind your back. When they see you, they go, Daddy don't care. Daddy. We just remember you, but not talk with remember and for. You said, they were just crucifying you. Pastor, don't fool yourself. They like me. Each time I come, they present me a gift. I said, watch somebody. They set him out to get a gift. The gift was given to pacify you. Pacify and they put a mouth. They say, like me, like, be careful. Oh God, I'm trying to treat you like big men, but the way you're sitting down, I'm trying to help you understand some things. Be discussing your boss. Discussing the chief. And chief, come. As soon as chief is approaching, see me to smile. Just remember, man. They all be to, chief, yes. Oh, I'm just praying for you. Yeah, take me back. Chief, you go live long. Listen, he was hated. The people hated him. He was disadvantaged by his height. Okay? Now listen, he could do nothing about his height. He could not change it. About his job, he could do little. Why little? If he left the job, he found for the farm. But he will not leave the job because how can he get his money? Hello? But he was also a slave to the devil's nature. Something was controlling the life of Zacchaeus that made him so greedy that even though he was rich, he was still chief of the publicans. Still doing the job that publicans did and making commission and extra commission. To the every devilish nature in you, I cause to die. Lift up and say, Father, every nature in me that does not belong to God, let it die by fire in the name of Jesus. There are some things you cannot do anything about. There are some things you can change. Your height you cannot change. There are some women who are trying to be slim. They go on diet, pass and bury you. You understand? You say, me, I must start like a Judith. Wait no more, we'll see. Now true, you will turn so, but till you turn so, you will be under. And there are some people that say, I am going to be big, eh? Mr. Nafil saying that big, I go show them what big. So they work at the one way they work at the massive food, I go show them. You eat stay, possibly big. Then you sick. Then you die. I'm telling you. There's some people are naturally, you see them running up and down steps, doing this. They can do that. You, as you put on half weight for AC foot, can't see walk. There's some things you cannot do anything about. I'm not hearing with somebody. I was talking to somebody who was short, or who is short. And I said, they say that short people know how to dress in my country, and we realize that it's true. And the person said, yes, it's true. And the person said, because we are short, we have to do something extra to make a statement. That's why a lot of short people are above people in many areas. They are richer, they are wiser, they are this. In many areas, they fight because of their height to make a statement. Are you getting me, somebody? May your disadvantage become your point of strength from today. Are you understanding me, somebody? If you cannot speak, you are about to have a spokesman. It is only great men that have spokesmen. What's I see poor man get spokesman? Don't have to talk for yourself. You die, you finish, brother. You go angry, angry kill you. You must know how to talk. If you are somebody who doesn't know how to talk, you must find something else. Brethren, do you know that I am not actually a great person like talking? Even when people joke, the way people produce words, I don't know how they do it. I don't know how they do it. I wonder how do you just create words and create fun like that? When we were small, when we say joke time, fun time, myself and my cousins, my brothers and my cousins, they'll be making jokes and everybody's laughing. When I make my joke, they'll be still waiting. The joke don't done, then wait. And then eventually they label me and say, Tayo, in joke then dry. I just saying something. So they don't, if I say, oh man, pull joke, then they joke me, but I say, I'm in turn now, I'm in turn. And it's okay, I'm in turn now. They were done the joke and say, I can laugh. So I now learned that joking was not my strong point. I now learned to make my words weighty. That I was not an orator like my brothers. When they spoke, everybody, yeah. But I now learned to make my words have weight. That when I speak, what did he say? Till today, when I speak, people of different levels ask, now what thing he say? They don't like me, but they want to know what I said. Are you hearing me, somebody? You are going to turn around your pain to become your strength. I am not hearing you, somebody. In 2020, whatever area was your pain, it is going to be to produce for you. I hope you are taking down notes. Now listen. I don't know if they had an organization among the publicans, but what I know is that Zacchaeus was chief. He was boss. It doesn't take organization for you to be on top. Brethren, you might not be the head. Go and ask Joseph. He was not Pharaoh. But Joseph was so positioned that Pharaoh would listen to Joseph. Okay, Joseph, what do you say? Okay, we must build there. Yes, build. We must build the Shana. Okay. Until got to a point that Pharaoh said, hey, listen, whatever you want to know, go to Joseph. Whatever he tells you, do it. Look at me. I am saying that times God knows why he never allowed Joseph to become Pharaoh in Egypt. He knows why Daniel never became king in Babylon. Are you understanding, somebody? God knows why at times he prefers you to be number 2 than to be number 1. But in number 2, you can still be number 1. From today, you shall be number 1 in whatever position they put you. If even you are number 10, you shall be the best number 10, and people shall seek your counsel in the name of Christ of Nazareth. Don't try to undermine somebody. Don't try to put down somebody. Walk on your position. Something better is coming out of your life. Look at me. A wife was never meant to be the head of the husband now, but a wife who knows how to walk well, the husband will respect her voice. You don't control and undermine her husband. But the husband will say, let me just see what my wife thinks about this. Receive wisdom. The fact that Zacchaeus was rich, it shows us that Zacchaeus was a shrewd guy. The guy was sharp. The guy was smart. The guy could think well. The man had insight. He was short, He was rich. Listen, may God make you smart and give you sharpness and give you insight in the name of Christ. You shall not walk around like a fool. Do not be a talkative around. You are not signals unit. Hello. In fact, that has changed now. First we go to military, signals unit. You are not signals unit. You're always making noise. Listen. Zacchaeus must have had an attitude to life for you to succeed as a tax collector. Be collecting money from people and they are paying. You must have an attitude. An attitude to know how to get people to do what they should do. To produce what must produce. Touch someone on the left and right, say, have a right attitude. Have a strong character. You cannot be a weak person in life. You cannot be a weak person. People push you around. Anything goes. In the kingdom you submit. Out in the world, you must know how to face the marketplace. Are you with somebody? You must know how to talk. You must know how to war. You must know when to talk. You must know what to say. You must be able to think. Listen, for Zacchaeus to work for the Roman government, it means he had great wisdom to interact. From today, may you be able to work with difficult people. Listen, never be among those that say that man they in business strong and able. Never be like those people. People in business strong and can give you good business. Bust away and bog, they can help you to go far. I'm not hearing somebody. Change the attitude. Me and it and bog. Now make nobody around them. You are stupid. If nobody around them, you be around them. What the others lose, it will come to you. You'll gain an experience in life. When you learn to handle difficult people and difficult situations. One of the things that made that woman recommend Daniel, he said the man can interpret hard sentences. Difficult things that others don't want to handle, Daniel can handle it. From today, may you handle difficult things. One of the things that increases your value in life is your ability to handle difficult things. Lift up your hand and pray a prayer. Say, Father, I ask that you give me grace to handle difficult things in life. Difficult things and difficult people. Impossible situations. Help me to handle them. In the name of Jesus Christ. Receive grace tonight. I speak grace over your life. And right now I challenge every difficult situation in your life. In the name of Christ of Nazareth, I command to bow now by the mighty hand of God. I command every difficult thing to bow to the power of God right now. In the name of Jesus Christ of Nazareth. If even you are a difficult person, today I command a change in your mind, a change in your life. In the name of Jesus. From today I see that governments are calling on you. I see that parastatals are calling on you. Oh, I'm not hearing you, somebody. I see agencies calling upon you. You shall give counsel. You shall give wisdom in school. You shall give wisdom when you find yourself. Somebody just shake yourself, say, I am built for tough things.
The wisdom of God is a mystery.
La sagesse de Dieu est
The
un
wisdom
mystère.
of God
La sagesse de Dieu
is not easily understandable.
n'est pas facilement comprendre.
It's not easily understood.
C'est pas facilement compris.